Hi, everybody. My name is Bob Benham, and welcome to Real Thoughts with Bob Benham. And it's another episode of my podcast. And boy, oh boy, the Democrats have lost their minds, and liberals in this country. Oh my gosh, they're defending criminals, they're defending mentally ill individuals. It is crazy. I mean, they've completely lost their moral compass, that's for sure. Uh, and I've got friends that are on board with this, and I mean, they're defending all these trans things, and all I can say is, wow. Uh, I just can't. I can't get on board with this stuff. I just can't. Uh, it's morally wrong. It's against my value system. Um, it's against everything that I believe in. It's against my Christian values. Um, I mean, it's I don't know. I just don't know how anybody can defend this and say that what they are doing is right. I really don't know because um, wow. That's all I can say. I never thought in 30 years, and it's all, I mean, it's, well, 35 years, because I'm coming up on the 35th anniversary of my joining the police department, because I joined the police department in 1990, May of 1990. And to say that 35 years later, we would be where we are today as far as defending criminals, um, and saying that they're right. They have more rights and more value than people that have been victims of crime, people that are being held hostage, um, that terrorists have more rights than a nation that's been terrorized by uh, the people that are the terrorists, um, and calling the nation that's defending itself terrorists and saying that they're calling them uh, the names that they're calling them. It's saying that they're trying to exterminate people. Unreal, unreal. Um, I just never thought I would see the world, and I mean the world, not just the people in the United States, but the world, lose it the way it has. And a lot of it has to do, especially in Europe, a lot of it has to do with the fact that Europe has been basically taken over by Islam. And I'm just going to say it. I mean, it's just a fact. It's a fact. Um, Islam is not a good thing. People want to, push it. Well, there's moderate Islamists or, Muslims, whatever. There's no such thing. There's just no such thing. Um, when all this with Hamas and Israel, they went in, they had people go in and do a poll of the Palestinians uh, that were in Gaza, and the overwhelming majority, like 79%, 80%, support Hamas. That's just a huge number. They support Hamas. Um, Hamas is terrorists. They are terrorists. And you got 80% of the people in that zone that support them. So that makes them terrorists. Hello? Um, I just don't understand the thinking of these people that sit there and go, well, Palestine needs its own state. No, they don't. They've never had one. They've never had their own nation. Palestine's never had its own state, its own nation. They're not entitled to it. They're trying to make it sound like they're entitled to it. They're not. Israel has always had a nation in the past for centuries. And it's historically proven. And here we are, Israel was given its nation back after World War II, after what happened to Israel during World War II, and what happened to the Israeli people and the Jews during World War II. It was rightfully given its nation back, and here we are trying to give a people that want to say, hey, we deserve a nation. Well, okay, fight for one, establish one. And no, you can't have Israel. Israel tried to give you part of Israel, and you blew it. So now you want to take Israel and make it yours. That's not how it works. And these people that sit there and support this crap, I'm sorry. You're on the wrong side of history, and your moral compass is effed up. I don't understand that thinking in the least. Just don't get it. And I don't want to get it. Yeah, that's just, I'm sorry. I just don't, that's just wrong. Wrong on every level. Then you got Afghanistan, which we did as well as the Russians did when they went in there. They lost. We lost. Afghanistan's still in the hands of the Taliban. They had it when the Russians went in there, and they still got it when we went in there. A lot of good it did to try to get rid of them. You don't fight somebody on their own turf. You just don't do that. You don't invade and fight somebody on their own turf. You're not going to win. It's just not possible. And that's been proven time and time again over centuries, since humanity began. we are, still doing it, trying to do it. I just, that's, I mean, I am proud and that our troops are mostly home. We need to pull them out of a lot of places. There's no reason our troops should be anywhere overseas. Our troops should all be within the American borders. Um, there's no reason to have them in Japan anymore. Japan has its own military. They should be able to take care of Japan. No reason to have them anywhere. I mean, Germany's got its own military again. Let Germany take care of itself. All these places, there's no reason to have them anywhere. Get them back on U.S. soil. There's just no reason to. I'm with President Trump, America first. So you bring them back here to America because we need to get ready for some shit that's going to go down here. And I'm telling you, it's about to go down because the Democrats and libtards are pushing for it in a big way. Because that's all you hear about. Oh, we gotta get ready. We gotta get in the streets. We gotta take it to the streets. We gotta resist. Take it to the streets. Fight in the streets. We gotta resist. If you remember when President Trump was in office between 2017 and 2021, that's exactly what they did. They rioted just about all the time. And they're going to do it again. They're already starting with this Tesla stuff and everything else. The Democrats are terrorists. They're treasonists. They need to be taken out. They really do. Because they believe in tyranny. They're the ones that believe in fascism. Everything they do follows a terrorist playbook. If you don't even really follow what the Islamist terror book is or what the terrorists have done over the years, but if you just have an inkling of what they've done and what they do, and you watch what the Democrats have done and what they're doing, it's parallel. It's the same thing. And they're doing it here on our soil. And then they've let in all these people through our southern border and northern border that we have no idea who they are. Absolutely none. I could have walked up to that on that southern border and gave any name in the world, and they would have just let me walk right through. Because they can't verify who you are. They don't know. There's nothing to verify you against. No fingerprints, no nothing. They have to take you at your word. So here they come walking through. You don't know how many terrorists have come walking through. We know tons of criminals have walked through. We know that. We've seen where El Salvador and all those Southern American countries emptied their prisons and sent them here. We know that. And now we're dealing with all this mess, all these millions upon millions of people that we need to get out of our country because we don't know what their intentions are. We have no idea. We thought 9/11 was bad. And we've got kids now that are in their 20s, mid 20s, that have no idea what 9/11 was like because they weren't even born yet. So they don't know what that day was like and how bad it was. So they don't understand the whole dynamic of what Joe Biden has done to our nation by letting all these people through. We have a couple generations of kids that just they don't understand. And they've been indoctrinated to believe that they're all fine. Everything's good. There's no problem. By our totally corrupt education system. But all these people are here. They're all here from every, probably every nation in the world has sent at least somebody here. And they're not doing good for us. They have no ties to the United States. They don't care about our way of thinking. They don't care about our traditions, our culture, our way of life. They don't care about our Constitution, our Declaration of Independence, our history. They don't care about any of that because they have no ties to this country. Their ties are back to El Salvador, Venezuela, China, Chile, uh, wherever, not the United States. They don't care about here. So they're going to do whatever they want because, one, they don't have to follow the laws here. They're not legal residents. They're not legal. The laws don't apply. Except when you try to send them back home. Then they want due process because that's what the Democrats scream and the libtards scream. Oh, they need their due process. Well, they didn't have any due process when they came. Why should they have due process on the way out? They're not entitled to it. Democrats always seem to come up with some kind of bullcrap thing when it suits them. Oh, we need to have this for so and so because that's what they deserve. No, they don't. They're not legal residents. They're illegal aliens, illegal immigrants. They're not supposed to be here. They're not entitled to anything except out. Next plane, train, boat, whatever. Out. I've been saying it for my whole life. They do not belong here. I've never understood why whenever a police officer or whatever came across one, why they weren't put on the next plane, taxi cab even, whatever, and they were not sent back. It drove me nuts. Because they don't care about our laws. If they did, they would have come legally. There's a legal process in which you do it. If you'd have come legally, I have no problem. I'm glad you're here. I'll shake your hand and welcome you to the United States of America. But you sneak across that border, I want your ass out. Today, I want it out without a second's delay. You don't belong here. You cross a second time and get caught, I want your ass in jail for a long time. And then sent back. You cross a third time, I just want your ass in prison for the rest of your life so you don't even get the chance to try again. There has to be deterrent. And there has to be law and order in all of this. The Democrats scream law and order and all that junk only when it suits their purpose. They don't want it distributed evenly across the board because with them, there's that two-tier justice system. The conservatives deserve all the punishment in the world. The libtards, no, it don't apply to them. It's okay. You can just go on down the road. It's like that judge that got arrested for helping that illegal escape out the back door of the courthouse. What a dummy. Oh, but that's an overreaction to arrest her. No, it's not. She broke the law. It's clear as day. Look up the law. Look up the USC code. Clear as day. It's an easy one. A very easy one that she broke. And you can look up the elements of the crime and read right through it and go, golly, she couldn't have been done. I mean, it's right there. And you go, oh yeah, she broke that one. Clear as day. No problem proving that one. No problem proving the other one. Probably a couple more in there. They'll probably take to the grand jury and indict her for. What are these people thinking? The problem is they're not, and they don't care. They're doing it in the name of civil disobedience. Well, no, it's not civil disobedience. It's called breaking the frickin' law. There's a difference there. Big difference. If you want to do this civil disobedience, that's when you know, there's a there's a uh, standing in front of a uh, courthouse and yelling things. That's civil disobedience. Helping somebody escape when there's a warrant for their arrest that's breaking the law. Especially when you know there's a warrant for their arrest. I mean, people, if we just work together, let this process play out, everything will just run smooth. And what's going to happen? What's the worst that can happen? The process will play out. Everything just goes on, and what's going? I mean, so what? So what? These people end up going back home to their countries. Big deal. All these asylum claims are a bunch of BS anyway. They have no, there's, there, I mean, there's, you know, it makes me so mad because when I was out west, out in Arizona, and I would hear some stuff when I would stay in California from time to time, I would hear they had these groups that would literally send attorneys into Mexico, and they would hand out and paperwork to these people that were down there trying to get into the United States, telling them what to say to the Border Patrol and Customs and Border Protection to get them to be able to cross the border and get in here, which was all lies, and be able to say and do, get them into the United States with just total, to be released and that way with some kind of court date for an asylum case that's totally bogus, and that way they would be able to spend years here before they would ever have to go to court. Because when you have millions of people, millions, they want to talk about what they're I keep hearing the number going down as far as the estimate of illegals that crossed the border when Biden was president. Now it's down to like 9 million or something like that. That's bull crap. I'm telling you, there was at least 20 million that crossed that border. At least. Between who he released into the country and the gotaways. Because every time I had would listen to the numbers and stuff like that, it's at least 20 million. And then, so now it's all these people the non-gotaways, the ones that they let in on this app, and the ones that came through and claimed asylum at the border, and they gave them their little court date and sent them on their way with court dates in 2032 and 2033, which they will never show up for, by the way. We know that because they have already talked about people that had court dates in the present that don't show up. Imagine that. And so and that ends up with a warrant for their arrest and an order to deport them. But anyway, no big deal. That's hey, they really want to be here, though. They love the United States. They want that opportunity to be here and become a citizen. Blah 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 blah. The bull crap they told the border patrol at the border. Right. But anyway, there's only so many judges that handle these cases, and so many immigration attorneys that handle these cases, and so many law clerks, so many people, just so many people that can handle it. And there's so many millions. So yeah, you're talking years out before anybody's going to hear the case. And these initial court dates are just, you come in and then they tell you what, they ask you a couple questions and send you on your way with another court date. And I'm sure that court date's years ahead of time. So we're not getting anywhere with that stuff. Not getting anywhere. And you're not going to get anywhere with that. We would need, I don't even know how many judges we would need to get through that many people. There's just, there's just no way. And that's why the Democrats are demanding this due process crap, because they know we're not going to get through them all. It's impossible. And because of that, they also know that they can, the Republicans won't be in power forever. So that'll give us a chance to pass our laws to make you citizens, which means a permanent Democrat base of 20 million voters. Add that on to how many Kamala had, Kamala, whatever her name is. And that's a perpetual win for the Democrats. They'll be in charge forever. And the country's lost. I'm sorry. I can't let that happen. I'm not going to let that happen. That's why I called it an invasion. And it was. And it was an invasion. You let 20 million people across that border, it's an invasion. And you would not, if there were 10,000 Chinese soldiers at that border and they came across, you would call an invasion. 10,000 Chinese soldiers. I guarantee you would call it invasion. But 20 million illegal aliens is not? No, it is. It is. That's why I say the Democrats are the biggest hypocrites in the world. The biggest hypocrites in the world. And they're evil. Evil in every way possible. I mean, it's sickening. I just, I just, I feel sad. I'm sad for our country because of what's going on. I mean, you look at what the liberals and the Democrats are doing because they have nothing, absolutely nothing. I've said this on a prior podcast. They have nothing. They have nothing to offer. Nothing. I have not heard one Democrat offer anything other than resist Trump, resist the conservatives and the Republicans. Just resist. That's all they have. Resist and protest. That's all they have. And scream like crazy on the internet. Bash Trump, just whatever. That's all they've got. Unreal. I mean, that is just plain stupid. But that's all they've got. They have nothing to offer. But come election time, they'll offer you the world. They'll promise you everything that they can to get your vote. And then once they're in office, it's business as usual. Nothing to offer you. Nothing will get passed except laws that benefit them and make them rich. They'll raise taxes. They'll pass more regulations that will cost you more money. It's all about getting their hands in your pocket. The Democrats are, I mean, they're so far to the point where they're so far left. They're to the point of mental illness. With all this trans garbage, all this about themselves, their individuality. And when you think about that, when you think about the supposed individuality part, what is that? That's narcissism. It's all about me. That's what narcissism is. With the purple hair and the pink hair and the green and blue and whatever other color. And the garbage in the nose. The FU tattoos right here. Tattoos all over the face. Wow. I want to hire you. Got FU right here. Yeah, I want you representing my company. Not. You are mentally deranged. You need to be put away and locked up. And half this country is that messed up. Half. That's how brainwashed half this country is, thanks to our education system, because of the indoctrination that took place on the weak minded. I remember a 9-part movie series that talked about weak minded people and how they could use that and build an empire. Oh. I wonder what that series was. Oh yeah, they had like these big balls in space, star in a like empire, and yeah. How relevant that is to today in the world here and what's going on right here. Wow. Never thought I'd see it play out for real. Yeah. Started seeing that one in 1977, and here we are, 2025, and it's playing out. Wow. Hasn't been a good ride, that's for sure. And then our poor police, it's just still being attacked. Even our firefighters are being attacked. Kansas City firefighter, paramedic, stabbed in the chest by a person he was transporting to the hospital, trying to help them. Stabbed in the chest and killed in the line of duty. And the person that stabbed him in the chest was just released from jail not a week before for some other crazy criminal charges that she should have never been let out of jail for. They gave her a low bond on, thanks to these liberal judges. Nobody's held accountable for anything anymore. Nobody. What happened to, hey, you committed this crime, now you're accountable for it. Here's the bond, and it's a high one. So unless you can raise it, you're in jail. Oh. No, let's just let you out on your own recognizance, or let's let you out on $10,000 bond, which is really $100 or $1,000, and you can get out, and then you can do whatever you want to do, and um, unbelievable. Yeah, she did whatever she wanted to do. She killed a firefighter, paramedic, a 29-year-old firefighter paramedic. Now I got my blood boiling. I remember reading that in the news, and I just, mm, my heart rate went up just like it is now. My blood pressure went up just like it is now. Stress level went up just like it is now. And that's for a firefighter. But it would go up for anybody that defends us. And a firefighter defends us too. They're there to help us. Just like the police, just like the military. They're all defenders of us. And there's so few of them compared to all of us. So few. It's insane. It's truly insane. When I think of how few of them there are compared to how many people are in this country. How few. Trying to keep the sanity. Oh my God. I pray every day for the safety of everybody, because chaos is that close. That close. And President Trump, oh my. He's trying. That man is trying with everything he has to keep this nation together. And all I can say is God bless that man. Because without him, we are doomed. Because he's a leader. He's a leader. The last true leader we had was Ronald Reagan. And that's saying something. You're talking 30 years between leaders. And I was fortunate to be alive for both. I don't know. I just pray that we can get through these 4 years to the point where we keep together as a nation, because we're going to need it. We're going to need to, because there's a lot of forces out there that want to see us destroyed. Even our neighbors to the north and south of us want us destroyed and want to see us fail. And we really need to get our crap back together and move forward and get back to where we were as a nation in being the technological leader that we were, and being the strong nation that we were, militarily, as well as politically, because peace through strength works. And I saw that firsthand when I was in the Navy with President Reagan, because he was my commander in chief for my first 2.5 years, 3 years that I was in. And I was firsthand witness to that. And I can tell you it works. And it worked. We need that back. We need to get back to that. Right now, President Trump is doing a fabulous job of getting us there. Just in the short time he's been back in office, the world has flipped again. And it's funny how some of the leaders have decided to try to test him this time. And they're on the wrong end of it. I don't know why they're testing him this time. They should know, because they were these same leaders that are testing him this time were leaders when he was in office the first time, and they know how he operates. They're not going to come out on the good. So I don't know what they're trying to get away with, but it ain't going to work. But anyway, we are going to come out of this on the good end. We have to. And I believe that because I know God spared President Trump from that assassin's bullet. I know that. I know that. It was clear as anything on that day that that's what happened. It was just so evident. And And that's why I pray every day for him, that things go well for him and that things go well for the United States of America, because our country is the best country in the world. And it has been proven in history. And I mean, we're coming up on 250 years of showing the world what a great nation we have. And I believe we have another 250 years in us. But we need to get through these next few years, because we got to turn things around, and we do need to get it done, and we need to work together. And with that, I'm out of here. So thank you for listening to me and listening to my rantings. And hopefully, by doing so, it kind of maybe let you get something off your chest or let you understand whatever. And I hope that everybody has a great few days ahead of you. God bless you. Thank you for listening. Everybody take care of yourselves. Watch your backs. Things are very volatile out there. And God bless the United States of America. My name is Bob Benham, and you've been tuned in to the podcast Real Thoughts with Bob Benham. Thanks again. Take care. Bye-bye.